They call that a wishing chair, but you have to do it right.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're exploring why Netflix's Irish Wish is a stellar example of the trashy rom-com we can't get enough of. Since we are discussing plot points, this is your spoiler warning.
Where are you going?
To write my own story.
In March 2024, Netflix hoped some of the luck of the Irish would rub off on them with their latest rom-com, Irish Wish. It stars Lindsay Lohan as Maddie, a book editor harboring a secret crush on Paul Kennedy, an author she works with played by Alexander Vlahos.
I don't know what to say. I feel exactly the same way.
Really? That's wonderful. So, will you work with me on my next book?
While she musters up the courage to tell him how she feels, he meets her best friend Emma. They hit it off, and the next thing we know, we're off to Ireland for their wedding. Once there, Maddie meets this kooky, mysterious woman who answers her wish to take her friend's place as the bride-to-be.
They call that a wishing chair, but you have to do it right. So sit down, close your eyes, and make your wish.
All of a sudden, Maddie finds herself living someone else's life. And to top it off, she unexpectedly finds herself falling for the charismatic nature photographer James Thomas, portrayed by Ed Speleers. Sounds cheesy and predictable already? Yes, indeed. Will we be hooked from the moment we hit play? You betcha.
Well, when you ask her for something, she may not give you what you want, but she'll always give you what you need. Oh, that's my cue.
Netflix's rom-coms are often criticized for being so predictable that they could have been written by some algorithm. And guess what? They're not entirely wrong.
Paul Kennedy's one of the best-selling authors in the UK.
Well, they sell a lot of fish and chips in the UK too. Doesn't mean they're any good.
Well, he seems to be doing very well without your approval.
Remember the golden era of rom-coms from the mid to late 80s to the 2000s? We were treated to unforgettable pairings like Julia Roberts with Richard Gere, Sandra Bullock with Ryan Reynolds, Kate Hudson with Matthew McConaughey, and Meg Ryan with Billy Crystal. But suddenly, rom-coms fell out of favor. After all, yeah, we get it. Chance encounters, unlikely romances, overblown gestures of love, yada yada yada. In short, we were largely over it.
We spent a day together. I admit, it was a beautiful day, filled with dramatic vistas and romantic rain. But that doesn't give you the right to question my life choices.
The pandemic seemed to seal the deal, with the next big release being whatever was streaming on whichever platform you had access to. But do you know who was keeping an eye on what we were watching? Yep, Netflix. They noticed that many of us, about 80 million according to some sources, still had a hunger for the genre, and decided it was time to dust it off and give it a revival.
Are you really happy with your wish? Where are you going? I love my wish! Come back! Please don't take it away!
As many of us found ourselves stuck at home during global lockdowns, those classic Hallmark-style rom-com plots suddenly didn't seem so tired anymore.
I wish I was marrying Paul Kennedy. Oh. Well, that didn't work.
Didn't it?
For about 90 minutes at a time, we were transported to picturesque settings and swept up in the love lives of a new generation of rom-com stars. We became as invested in their relationships as if they were our own friends gossiping about their latest romantic escapades.
It's interesting.
What does that mean?
I guess opposites attract.
Excuse me. Paul and I are not opposites.
What made these films particularly appealing was that they didn't demand much mental effort from us. We knew exactly who the main characters were, who would play the comical best friend, and who would likely sweep in as the unlikely plot twist love interest. The stories were predictable enough that you could probably play the quickest game of bingo ever by counting the familiar tropes.
My favorite author is Charles Dickens.
That's right.
Hey!
1 point for the happy couple.
Irish Wish may not break new ground in the rom-com genre, but it thrives on its comforting predictability. From the beginning, it's clear that Paul's not Maddie's perfect match. When she and James fight over a suitcase at baggage claim, we know this is the love story we'll be rooting for.
Look at the tag, you'll see.
I don't need to look at the tag. I know my own bag. So let go.
Oh, I'm not letting go of my bag.
Oh! See? Look, my favorite plaid skirt.
And when they find themselves spending a cozy evening at a local pub due to a storm, no one's thinking, hey, we hope she makes it back in time to marry the man who's clearly wrong for her.
I'm getting married in 2 days.
or drinks?
It's not even the first time Lohan has starred in a film where she's had to learn some big lesson to reverse a wish she wished she hadn't made. Not a rom-com, but our point stands. So we know how these things go. So, yes, the writing can be cringeworthy at times, and the abundance of cliches makes us question if the script was generated by a computer program with a checklist of rom-com tropes.
You enjoying that?
Yes. Have you read it?
Nope, don't need to.
I bet he made it through his last one.
If that's the case, romance writers can breathe a sigh of relief knowing their jobs are safe from AI takeover for now. Still, that classic Irish charm wins us over. We know it's gonna happen, and we know we're en route to a happy ending, but we're still invested in seeing it play out.
I'm planning on writing a book on the Cliffs of Moher. Do you know them?
One of my favorite spots.
Mine too.
Huh.
Maybe we could go there together sometime.
As we've seen with previous Netflix titles, star billing can sometimes have more power over quality. When you have someone like Lindsay Lohan leading the cast, you can place her in any romantic scenario with interchangeable love interests, and audiences will still be drawn to it, even if the chemistry feels a bit off. Irish Wish follows a familiar formula, but it has just enough charisma to make us root for Maddie. Heck, we even root for Paul and Emma.
It just felt like we were supposed to be together. In another life, maybe we would have been. Just not this one.
If you want to trace the origins of romantic comedies, you might find yourself in Stratford-upon-Avon, peering over William Shakespeare's shoulder. They've been a staple of entertainment ever since. However, when we mention rom-coms, you probably imagine films like It Happened One Night, Sleepless in Seattle, My Best Friend's Wedding, Pretty Woman, and so on. Irish Wish embraces everything we adore about these movies. The unlikely meet-cute, the comedy of errors, the moment where you realize love has been right in front of you all along, and finally, the big dramatic declaration of I can't live without you.
Really have this gigantic favor to ask of you. Choose me. Marry me. Let me make you happy.
However, unlike those classics, Irish Wish has to appeal to a modern audience that may not necessarily buy into love at first sight and fate.
It's all right. You can tell me.
Do you believe in fate?
Sometimes.
It taps into themes that resonate with today's audience, such as self-discovery and empowerment. Maddie's journey starts with her chasing a guy, but ends up being about the pursuit of happiness and fulfillment.
That's not how a team works. I'm afraid you're gonna have to fly solo on this one.
Where are you going?
To write my own story.
It vaguely reminds us of Elle Woods' transformation in Legally Blonde.
But if I'm going to be a partner in a law firm by the time I'm 30, I need a boyfriend who's not such a complete bonehead.
Irish Wish recognizes that audiences no longer enjoy one-sided love stories written solely for the plot.
You seemed a little confused in there, like you and Paul didn't really know each other that well.
That's ridiculous. Of course we know each other.
Charles Dickens.
Anybody can make a mistake.
As the story wraps up, Maddie realizes she shouldn't have interfered with her friend's happiness and instead focuses on her own journey, both as a writer and in her relationship with James. As we say goodbye to them at the beautiful Cliffs of Moher, their future together remains uncertain, and that's okay. Marriage no longer guarantees a happy ending.
What brings you to Ireland?
A wedding.
No, congratulations.
Oh no, it's not mine. It's my friend's.
Maybe you'll be lucky enough to catch the bouquet.
What makes you think I want to get married?
Nothing, it was a joke. Apparently a bad one.
Just like we once dreamed of finding love on the Empire State Building's observation deck, now we understand that true romance takes time to develop, but it's worth the wait. As we mentioned earlier, Netflix uses data to grasp audience preferences.
Well, what do you put into a contract for a real relationship?
Nothing. You gotta trust.
With many of us joining in for Netflix's Summer of Love back in 2018, they're probably only just at the beginning of their journey to understanding what audiences enjoy and what we hope to get out of our viewing experiences.
Not really sure I have anything to say right now.
Well, everyone has something to say. They just have to be brave enough to say it.
Irish Wish may not directly tackle representation, but it reflects a time when audiences are hungry for better diversity in rom-coms. While Netflix has made strides, this film shows there's still room for improvement. Despite its far-fetched plots, we crave the escape they offer. Whether it's a Disney princess movie or a classic rom-com, We love these stories for their familiar comfort and promise of a happy ending.
I thought I could use a little liquid courage before going in to face the masses.
They're gonna love it. It's a beautiful story.
Well, I have you to thank for that.
In a world full of distractions, seriously, when was the last time you watched a movie without simultaneously scrolling through your phone? Irish Wish strikes a perfect balance, requiring just the right amount of brain power to enjoy it.
It's really magical in person.
Is there something in your voice? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay, but I can't help but think that things would be different if I'd just taken your advice and told Paul how I felt.
It's refreshing to see Netflix recognizing that rom-coms are more than just fluffy chick flicks. They're a welcome break from the complexities of real life.
That it should be with someone you love, not just someone you wish for. It should be with someone you find, or even someone who finds you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Irish Wish might not redefine the modern rom-com genre, but it ticks all the boxes we expect. Sure, it's filled with cliches. Take a shot for each one in the first 20 minutes and you might forget you're even watching.
I really wish you all the happiness in the world.
I can't be happy without you. I know this doesn't make sense right now, but I believe in my heart that we're meant to be together.
But that's the beauty of it. It's lighthearted, fun, and doesn't take itself too seriously. While it may not win awards for its writing, it serves its purpose perfectly. Sometimes we just need to escape from reality for a while, and Netflix offers us exactly that.
I wrote that book.
No, you didn't. I wrote that book.
There you have it.
What did you think of Irish Wish? Let us know in the comments.
Is it everything you imagined?
What?
This. All of this.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.